Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. Well, it's fairly cold out there, and it is cold in the market on Tuesday morning. I'm going to keep this video very brief. U.S. markets were closed yesterday. Canadian markets were open, very thinly traded, but we did see a nice bid into gold and energy stocks on Monday. The TSX ended the day up just 50 points. A lot of downward pressure on U.S. futures over the weekend. If you were watching, typically the Dow was trading down between 300 and 400 points most of the weekend. This morning, it took a dip overnight, but came back as North Americans started to wake up. So we are seeing a big dip this morning, and it's being led lower by the big cap tech stocks. And as you can see at the bottom there, the VIX is rising. Now, I've been telling you not to draw a direct connection with the news and what's going on in the markets, but today you can draw that direct connection. I talked about potential World War III starting, and what I mentioned on the weekend was it might not be military action. It could all be electronic, and it could happen fairly quickly. The French president was talking about using the bazooka option yesterday, and we'll have to see how that works out going forward. But everybody's getting together for a big meeting today, and Donald Trump's going to be there. And it's important to remember, well, one of the things that's really sad right now is that how many Americans know nothing about their history or, World War II or any of that, what led up to that. They have no idea that they're just going through the same motions right now. It's funny that, history tells us that the reason that the United States got started is because King George, was sick. Yeah, he had mental problems, and that's one of the reasons that the U.S. was able to get its freedom from the UK. And now we've got Donald Trump, who, if Donald Trump was your relative and you heard him say the things that he says, we would have had a family meeting and we would have had him in some sort of 24-hour day care facility because just listening to the things he says, anybody that tells you they're going to reduce the price of drugs by 1,000, 2,000%, they're really off their marbles and really shouldn't be allowed to drive or do anything important, certainly signing documents. Now, over the weekend, we talked about the fact that uh, foreign countries hold a lot of the U.S. debt and could easily turn around and start selling that aggressively, and that could take down the U.S. economy. If you're not familiar with this, here's where all the money is in the world, and over here are the stock markets. Over here are the commodities, that little sliver there. This is the bond market. And when the bond market moves, and if they move in unison, they can crush all the other markets. And so, what we don't want to happen is to see global players around the world start to aggressively dump their U.S. treasuries. If they do that, then it's all over for all of us, which is rather unfortunate. Of course, all of this could be stopped if Congress gets their act together and opens up the 25th Amendment, but that may not happen given what we've seen Congress do over the past year. Now, yesterday I said the TSX was up. It was led higher by materials. That, of course, includes gold stocks. And then, of course, we've got energy stocks. What didn't work? Well, you see tech stocks selling off today, and they sold off yesterday on the TSX. Now, gold's up $140 and change right now. So, moving it up on the day, that is good for Canadian stocks. Whether that can overshadow what's going on in the U.S. today, we'll have to wait and see. We've got silver continuing to move higher this morning. We've got crude oil up, not that much, just up 46 cents. But it's natural gas that's up 23% in the pre-market this morning. So that is a huge move for natural gas. And unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of that trade at the moment. We talked about taking a partial position in natural gas the other week, but there may be some people still short natural gas at this time. Let's finish off this morning's presentation taking a look at the VIX, and we've been watching the seasonality chart. We know that seasonally the VIX moves up into the end of January. It certainly tried to do that last week with the VIX on a daily buy signal. It moved up nicely last week. It got up not as high as the 1875 level, but it is trading above that level right now. And if it can hold that, it would certainly end the day above the 200-day moving average and end the day above the top of the flypaper channel. If we were to end the week up at that level, that would give us a weekly buy signal for the VIX, which would, of course, be bearish for long-term investors, not just short-term traders. Let me finish off this morning by just telling you one more option that the NATO has against Russia and the United States, and that, of course, is shipping. And Denmark, if Trump and Putin want to continue to antagonize Denmark, Denmark could just stop the flow of goods to the United States and from the United States. And of course, they have some friends in Switzerland and France, and they could certainly get together and just stop shipping to and from the United States. And that would certainly cripple the U.S. economy after a very short period of time. Remember, the whole world runs on just in time shipping. And when you put a stop to that, then all the factories start to close, and that puts people out on the street. And when people are out on the street, hey, they like to protest. So here we are. There are other options before we actually get to shooting bullets. So let's hope all this comes to an end fairly soon, because in all of my lifetime, I've never thought about going to war against the United States, but that has certainly come up as something that could happen in the not so distant future. You have a great day, folks. Make the best of it. Stay warm. And next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.